over the weekend, my wife's been in the baking mode. So anyway, I ate, I don't even know how many cookies at this point. And I cut a piece for myself, cut a piece for my daughter. I'm eating, I'm like, oh, it's pretty good. And then my daughter eats it, and she's only 4 at this point. I cut a piece, and my daughter's like, she's like, oh, I don't like it. I'm like, what's wrong? I'm like, it tastes fine to me. And she's like, it tastes like mint. I'm like, what? So I thought she was just making like shit up, right? So what happened was, in this loaf, my daughter was helping my wife. Well, in the flour, they put a bay leaf in the flour, like flour container. A piece of the bay leaf got into the flour, right? Well, my daughter happened to get a little, and my wife happened to get a little piece of the bay leaf in there, which was causing that taste. And this is where the concept, it came to me, and I'm like, this is probably happening to a lot of people, is the concept, and again, this is why I need to hormozify this thing, is that you have this bread loaf. So imagine like the bread loaf is like a foot long, right? So we're at Subway, whatever. So you got this foot long bread loaf. Well, literally the piece that I gave her was in the first 2 inches of the bread. Actually, probably the first inch or whatever, right? So at this point, at this point, I don't know if it's in the rest, but at this point, I'm assuming, just say it was only that one little piece and in this first like inch of bread, 2 inches, right? So this one little piece, because she tried it this one time and it tasted like that, she's probably never gonna eat this bread again, right? Well, you ever see those drawing that a guy that gives up, that's trying to dig for the gold, but gives up just before the end? And he gives up, and then the next person, like, he's literally like an inch away, like spent years getting to this point, and he's like literally a day away, but he gives up just before he finds the gold. Well, this is kind of like the opposite way, where it's like there's gold at the end of this, right? So you know at the end of like whatever you're doing that it's going to make this big impact or whatever else on your life. But because you like we're 2% of the way into it, or 5% or whatever, and there is this one issue, this one piece of bay leaf, that now you completely gave that up, right? So it's like, what is stopping you? That, like, what is the one thing that you know that would really be helpful to you, but because of this one thing that you didn't like, you just gave up on it, right? And I think for a lot of people, it's going to be something like the content creation and stuff like that. It's like, you know that if you do this for a long enough period of time, like, it could completely change your business. It'll attract the right customers. It will drastically increase the number of leads that you're getting. And again, it's not just a ton of leads from tire kickers and shit like that. But imagine if you used to get like 1 lead a day, but if you did this content creation for a long enough period of time, that you go from 1 lead a day, that's typically a tire kicker, to now you're getting 3, 4, 5 leads a day of qualified people that are pretty much like pre-sold on your company. What would that do for your business? What would that do for your life and everything else? And it's because we ate that one little piece of bay leaf that we just don't do what we need to do. So what's your bay leaf, right? So again, concept super long. Like it's the first time I really talked about it. Literally last night on a high, not high, but like, had like 1 or 2 hits or whatever. And that's when I thought, I'm like, holy shit, that's the bread loaf concept, right? So what is that, again, what is that bay leaf? What is that one thing that you did the one time that you didn't like, and because of that, stopping you from like everything that you could want in life? There's things that we do in life, or things that we'd avoid in life, that if we would just do them, it could change everything. And I see it from my son all the time, not that bread concept, but like, we spend more time complaining about the situation or bitching about like what's gonna happen or what we have to do. We spend more time on that than the actual time it takes just to do it. Happens all the time. Like, yesterday my son is like bitching about the trash or whatever, but I actually changed the way I started dealing with him, because and it has helped tremendously. But again, like, what are the things? This looks completely different. I haven't been to this property in forever. Anyway, I just pulled up. But yeah, so number one, what are the things, what's that bay leaf? Number one, what is that one thing that because didn't go your way the one time because you didn't like it for whatever reason, it left a bad taste in your mouth, what's that one thing that is stopping you from like everything, right? And number two, what are the things that you're doing each day? Or what are the things that you're spending time on each day complaining about instead of just doing them? So anyway, that's all I got for now. Hopefully I can get in and out of this thing because, like I said, I'm going to be here forever. I can feel it. So hopefully not. Anyway, hasta mañana.